So, man, you have a ton of accomplishments, a ton of things that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
But what is it that makes you happy?
What makes me happy, man, is seeing the result of you creating something in your living room or in your bathroom, an idea, a joke, a song, and then seeing the whole world repeat it. Like when I was on In Living Color, everybody was competing. That was 92, 93. We were competing on that show. Jim Carrey, the Wayans brothers. We was like, who could come up with the line or the joke that everybody will say the next day on Monday? Like I came up with playing this character and was like, I'll rock your world, and then next thing you know, I'll rock your world became T-shirts and all these, or she take my money when love me leave. To actually come up with that, to barge in on Kanye's studio session when I wasn't on their record, and they say just come up with something and then sing that line, and then be in Milan in Italy and sing it and watch people who don't necessarily know how to speak all English, but they know the line. That's the most incredible thing. If it's a true artist, it ain't about the money. It's not about the brand. It's not about any of that. It's about, did I move the people? And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the whole world. It could be like a niche, like 30 people out of all of these thousands knew that thing that you did, and so that's what makes me happy, man. Because it's like it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate gratification, because it's like now in social media it can happen that quick. Fast. Like, back in the day, you had to read about it. Now people could tell you either you suck, that sucked, don't do that again,
instant feedback,
or we dig it. So that's what it's about. That's what makes me happy.
Yeah, it seems like, no matter what you're doing, we're all like a force, and that force needs an effect. If you're the wind, you need the tall grass to blow over. You need the trees to bend.
Oh man, so eloquent. That was said so eloquent.
Yeah. And where does that come from, though? These ideas, these things.
You know what, man? That's God or whatever you believe in, whatever. Because if you think about it, music is an interesting thing. Like, music is just hanging out somewhere, and people are able to grab it and access it. I don't know where music comes from. We don't know where those sounds come from, or where does the lyric come from. The same with jokes. Like, my whole life has always been, I've always been funny and around other funny people. And then I think some of it is watching people. Like, growing up, I always watched the Tom Jones show, or this is way young. This is way before you guys' times, but like watching Johnny Carson or Sammy Davis Jr., some of these old heads who sung, danced, did it all, like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and those guys. So after you have the natural blessing of the talent, it's seeing how, that's how I put it together. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching Richard Pryor, okay, that's how I put my set together. Or if you're watching Eddie Murphy, that's how you make it a superstar look. Because Eddie was interesting. He was able to do all of that. And for some of the young guys, some of the young millennials out there, I was talking about Eddie Murphy the other day. It was like, ain't that the dude that be in the forest with the animals like and stuff? Doolittle. Yeah, that's what they know. I said, but I knew him when he had on the blue leather and he was talking trash, and he made being a comedian like fly. Like, nobody did that.
Yeah.
So when you watch Kevin Hart, that's an exact sort of the DNA of what Eddie was.
That almost provides the scaffolding, right?
Yeah,
it's like learning from all of these different people is the scaffolding for the inspiration that comes from the muse, from God, from wherever it is. There's this the guy who talks about stories, who says a great story is a story that got it right, as if there's true stories out there, and you just pull a true story in, and then you get it right.
Yeah, man.
And I can see that same thing for music. Like, there's true music out there. There's real music, and when you have something good, it's just you got it right.
You got
just
it
drew
right.
it in.
And it's it's when you get the music, and like Quincy Jones will say, hey man, shit, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's Pocket, baby. What? Pocket, man. When we did Michael Jackson, man, 54 million records, man. It was the Pocket and the different Rod Temperton, man. I mean, PYT, Thriller, Beat It, man. It's the Pocket. He would talk about him. Then he talked about Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, baby. I mean, he was just blessed, man, anointed, man. He was, he's gangster too, man. Gangster was true gang. So all of these different things, or when you hear from the legends, or when you see Diddy in the studio, And when he talks about music, and Diddy's telling the engineer, I need it right here. I need it right in my face. I need it 2 inches from my face. He was like, what does that mean? He said, you know what I mean. Turn them knobs, damn it. And then all of a sudden the music actually does do this. And his method was taking songs that had already been created and, you know, flipping them into something else. And now you look at the young cats today like Drake, who does that same method now, only he takes his incredible wit, his incredible lyrics, and then places it on top of some of the meats that I grew up with. You know, when you hear him and resample a Genuine beat or a Jodeci beat, and then to see him, you know, that's fun. That's when you know you're living long, when the sample is actually what was your day. Like, yo, right. That's a sample now? People go like, oh, I remember the 90s. I remember the 90s. That was my era. You know, so, but it's definitely what you said. It's definitely out there.
And you said Quincy talked about being in the pocket. We'd call that being in flow now, being in the zone, right? Yeah. Is there anything that you do to get yourself there, or is this something that just
I'm not stuff that I want to say on camera, man, because it's, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, you got to go to the bathroom and just, you know, get yourself in a situation. No, I mean, you know what? Listen, it used to be that way. It used to be like, you know, back in the day, you look at Richard Pryor and he did a narcotic, whatever it was, and we were like, oh, maybe we have to follow that.
Right.
But you know, that wears your tread down. That wears you down. So I just had to. I wake up and do like this mental check system. I'm in this situation. I'm in a situation where I'm able to create, and that's my job. And then I look at what I could have been doing, and so I turn my light on. I said, I'm going to turn my light on no matter if I'm tired or if I'm whatever it is. I turn my light on, and that saves you, because a lot of people turn their lights off. Especially if you look at comedians, when they reach a certain plateau, and they've done so great, they start trying to look sexy and, you know,
they
trying
get their
to
mind
look
involved.
good. Yeah, they start working out too much. You know, it's weird. And then they turn their light off, and they're afraid to be goofy again. When I wake up, I said, I'm not going to be afraid to be goofy. I'm not going to be afraid to be, I'm not going to be afraid to challenge myself. And it's just a mental thing that you do when you wake up. And then once you do that, and once you learn how to tap into it, you don't need any of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. I mean, it's almost like you create this persona that so many people are looking at you. So many, you know, Jamie Foxx now could become this thing. Yeah. That's this entity that you have to wrestle all the time. Yeah. Whereas when you were just starting out, it was just an idea. You were you.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's interesting, just a few hundred feet down at the Comedy Store, there was a guy named Eric Bishop, which is that's my real name, Eric Marlon Bishop, who was at the Comedy Store, who was just got my jokes. I stayed at this place called the Hastings Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard. It's torn down now, but it was just like derelicts and crazy view, and I bought my own sheets and stuff, and I would buy those 3-minute burritos from 7-Eleven. I bought me a little microwave, I put it in and work on my 3-minute set while it's cooking.
The reward being a burrito.
Yeah. I finish my burrito and then go down to the Comedy Store. I'm Eric Bishop. I get on and I get a standing ovation. Everybody's going crazy. Then I came back. I couldn't get back on because the comedians ran the list and they saw that I got a standing ovation that night, so they would never put me back on. So I was like, damn. So I started going to other comedy clubs. I ended up at the Santa Monica Improv, and they were having the evening at the Improv back in the day. And at that time, like hundreds of guys would show up for the potluck, for the open mic night. And there would be 3 girls that would show up. The 3 girls will always get on. So I said, you know what, damn it, I'm going to write on this paper, Stacey Green, Tracy Brown, Jamie Foxx. They end up picking the name Jamie Foxx, thinking that I was a girl. Jamie Foxx, is she here? You're going to go first. I said, no, brother, that's me. Oh, okay. And I go up in the middle of the show. They call me Fresh Meat because they were actually taping real comedians. And they said, put the fresh meat up, because they're thinking I'm going to get booed. Yeah. I end up getting a standing ovation. That's when Jamie Foxx was born, about 27 years ago. Jamie Foxx is born, and that's when everything started. And what was crazy, after that night, people thought I was arrogant because they would say, yeah, that's that guy right there that just got the standing ovation, Jamie. And I'm like, Jamie, I'm not used to the name. Like, Jamie Foxx. I'm like, this motherfucker's arrogant. I said, no, I'm just trying to get used to the name. And then what I did after that, once I got the Jamie Foxx and I added the X because paying homage to Red Fox, Letterman's jackets were in at that time, like in 1990. So everybody had a Letterman's jacket. So I went and saved up, got me a Letterman's jacket, and I started working on the name. So on the back of my jacket said Sly as a ...
Nice.
So I was.
Nice.
So when you talk, but when you talk about the energy of being Jamie Foxx, that is it, and that's why, like, it was on the internet or Twitter. People didn't know that my name was Eric Bishop, and it was like crazy. People going crazy. I said, yeah, but not to talk in third and fourth person, but Eric Bishop centers Jamie Foxx. Like, Eric Bishop is Terrell, Texas. Never left that. Never forget that I'm from Terrell.
Eric Bishop turns the lights on.
Exactly. He turns on the light. He's from Terrell, Texas. Never changed. My family lives with me from Texas. My sister, the 27 years that I've been Jamie Foxx, has never called me Jamie Foxx. She calls me Eric.
Yeah.
I said, why you don't call me Jamie Foxx? I ain't calling you that. I don't know what that is. Jamie Foxx. What is that? You better stay real. And it's interesting. Eric Bishop is like Clark Kent. Jamie Foxx is like the Superman.
Yeah.
And it does take energy to be Jamie Foxx. If that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Makes sense. Now, what was it? I'm sure you've known a ton of talented people where they run into something like that, where they go up, they get a standing ovation, they don't get callbacks, and they say, man, fuck it. And they just allow that resistance to stop them.
No, you can't. I mean, listen, you got to look at what you're doing. It's like we're playing make-believe all the time. I tell people all this. We'll be on a set. We was on a movie set, $200 million set. Somebody goes, they don't fucking have Avion. This is, I can't. I'm not coming out of the trailer. My cigarettes, I need it. And I'll be like, money, we're actually not, this is make-believe. This is, we're all sort of.
They're believing their own dream.
Yeah, and it's not necessary for that. Like my grandparents, my grandmother picked cotton. You feel me? My grandfather was a yard man. He woke up at 5:30 in the morning. So when I could wake up at 5:30 in the morning and somebody is picking out my clothes to play a part, you kind of go like, you're making a mountain out of.
Is that why people in Hollywood, have a lot of times aren't happy? Is they just
I'm gonna tell you what it is. This is what Hollywood is. Hollywood is like cocaine. When you do cocaine accents or magnifies whatever you are. You a funny motherfucker? I'm a funnier motherfucker, and I'm louder. Right? Cocaine, if you're an asshole, the people. You've been in this, so you're like, this motherfucker. You
just get more ear beatings.
He's cool, dude, but when he does that, you can't. So Hollywood is that. It's the accent. So a lot of people in Hollywood, if you scratch the surface, were nerds growing up, and guys and girls treated them a certain way, and then they bloom, and then they get to Hollywood, and then they're throwing all of this power, and now they basically want to get everybody back subliminally that looks like the people that treated them bad in high school or junior high. And so that's why you see that sort of fester up. And the other side of it is this: the real ones never trip. Al Pacino never trip. I'm on the set with Al Pacino. I met him the first time. I'm like, oh man, that's Scarfather. That's Godfather and Scarface. And I walk up to him, and we're at some hotel, and it's a dim light. I'm meeting him for the first time. And I said, hello, Mr. Pacino. Do you like cranberry juice? What? Great, got great cranberry juice, Jamie. You should taste the And I'm like, cranberry? And he was so cool, but he had the goods.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. The goods. So the people that are really talented and blessed, they don't have the bullshit that goes along with it. A lot of time the bullshit goes with something that they're sort of coloring in because they don't have that other thing. So that's what it is. And then on top of it, it's the mind fuck. Like Hollywood will fuck you up. Well, you got to get on the stick. There's another guy on the rise that's looking for the part. And so you got that. You got that because, and it's different. Like sports, I can see you guys, you guys look like you can fight. If you're fighting somebody, it's all on you.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, it's someone else dictating your fight.
Yeah.
You may not even be able to get in the movie to show them that you could do your thing or your fight, so it works on your noodle. And like with me, like I work with a lot of actors. I won't say their names, but I work with a lot of white male actors. It's really tough. Because it's a billion male white actors. Mm-hmm. There's a billion, Jake Gyllenhaal, Channing Tatum. All of these guys are basically fighting for the same thing. Who's going to be the hot motherfucker, right? Me? It's only 9 of us. It's only 9 niggas. It's 9 black motherfuckers, right? It's Will, it's me, Terrence Howard, a few other, Morris Chestnut, and then there's Morgan Freeman, but he older, and there's Danny Glover. It's 9. I'm gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna work in that movie or this one, but eventually you need a black dude for something. So I feel a little calm. Like I don't give a fuck if it all goes the way. They're gonna need a black dude either for a Disney Channel or for a fucking HBO or for a fucking big movie. I know something's gonna come my way because it ain't that many of us. Am I right? Terrence Howard, what's going on with you, man? Look at you, man. I'm just trying to talk to you, man. And then it's Denzel. All right, okay. There's 9 of us.
And then you can do all 9.
Of course.
So you're definitely going to work.
There it is. Boom. All right. Okay. My nigga. Which is crazy to have. I've had these people actually come to my house. Denzel shows up. Me and Dave-O, we do contrast parties where we throw a party. And you never know who will pop up. Denzel showed up one night. It was amazing. Denzel's there sitting at the head of the table, and all of the other actors and actresses just sitting at his feet, and he's just telling these incredible stories. It was amazing. And the contrast was I had a mariachi band show up. And basically the guy, his name is Manny, who I never say anybody work for me at my house. He works with me at my house, you know. And he's outside and he's doing something, and I hear him singing, Guadalajara, Guadalajara. I said, Manny, you do mariachi? Yes, I do mariachi. I said, man, let me hear your band. I heard his band. I said, man, listen, Denzel is coming over. Bring the goddamn band. And I tell Denzel, I said, Denzel, we got a surprise for you. We got a mariachi band that's going to play. All right, okay. Mariachi, huh? Mariachi. Why mariachi? I said, my guy who works with me, Manny, he works at the house. I said, okay, so he works at the house. He does mariachi. Okay, but it's crazy. You're sitting in front of Denzel. He's doing himself. It's crazy.
That's awesome. I want to go back to something you said about Hollywood not necessarily creating something from someone, but just magnifying what's there. It's like these bright lights are so appealing and so attractive, but they're heavy as fuck, and they'll reveal the cracks. But it's not just Hollywood. It's everything. I mean, I work with a lot of fighters, entrepreneurs. The moment you reach that point of success where you're in the public eye, you better have done the work on yourself. Like you better work on the center. So, because whatever's in there is going to come out. Some situation is going to put that pressure. It's like if your body's weak and you're trying to play rugby, you know, you're going to get injured in that spot. And
here's the other thing. Here's the intangible. When you look at the sign of yin and yang, that's everything in life. Because yin and yang shows you light and dark. Here's the thing with success. Every time there's success, you have to be prepared for the darkness. So anytime something happens good to you, you have to sort of now look out for what's going to anchor that, because you can't have sunshine without darkness. So that's the intangible. That's the thing that has nothing to do with anything but whoever created us. I'll say it's God. I said God says you can't have it all. Like it's interesting. I would always say, like, pretty girls I'd meet here, but the self-esteem would be low. Then you see a girl who's, you know, normal, but her self-esteem is off the hook. Good-looking guys, we're not billionaires. Why? Because you're good looking. Then the whole thing is we only do what we do because we want the favor of girls. But if you're good looking, you don't need to be the billionaire guys. Not always that good looking, because while we were out playing football and doing whatever we do, being good looking, they were somewhere creating the internet or whatever it is. So it's always this balance. Because I did this joke on stage called "Hustle Like You Ugly." Hustle like you ugly because you ain't got nothing else to do.
That's your way out.
I mean, you might as well create the. And I'll tell this story. I won't say who was in it. But the story of, there was this really well-to-do guy, and he was such a cool guy, you know. And he leaves the table, and the guy that's with me is really good looking, and goes, "Can you believe that guy is a billionaire?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" I said, "Look at you. You've already been blessed with this, so you may not be blessed with the other side of it, because you're already." So it's always a balance. So I say that there's always a balance, even when you get something good happens to you, just like how we were doing the TV show, and the TV show turns out great for us. Immediately, shit started going like, oh shit, and I'm telling everybody, okay, here comes the darkness. Okay, shit. Okay, you did this, you did that. Okay, you did a joke, and they thought, you hate everybody, and you did this joke, and now this, the pit bull community's after you. This, that. So you just had to sort of lay low and say, okay, I understand what it is, but you won't know that until you live it. A lot of times when people get to success and don't know that the darkness is coming, that's when you see them trip and fall.
Yeah.
The Oscars, when people win an Oscar, the ultimate darkness is they may not work again, but you've gone to the mountaintop. You can look at it. It's almost like a algorithm. It's like when they win that big trophy, something happens. If they don't shake it off quick, they can't get back into the game. And so that's the one thing I always constantly prepare myself for. If something great happens, just be prepared for whatever the bullshit is going to come along with it.
And you can also look at that resistance like an asset. All of this shit that we have to deal with, all of the pressures, everything that we had growing up, that's an asset. Like, your immune system needs to get challenged when you're young, so your immune system's healthy. We need resistance. If everything's easy, we won't get better. So it's almost like, all right, we reach this new level and the universe just dials it in. God's like, all right, if we don't give him a little pressure, he's going to get stuck. And he's going to stay where he is. He's not going to grow. So you need that pressure to adapt, just like training weights.
Exactly.
You break a new record, you got to have more weight, if you're going to break the next record.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I tell people all the time, appreciate the failures. If you look at anybody who skyrockets in our business, that thing is tough. Like, I talked to a really famous friend of mine, calls me one day, just couldn't get his mind around things. And me, I'm like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? We were sitting on we ended up sitting on this boat, and he's looking out in the ocean, and he goes, I don't know what to do. I said, what the fuck else do you want to do? I just don't know where to go with my career. I said, let me explain something to you. We're on a $23 million boat. We're sitting in front of a $50 million house. What are you talking about? But I couldn't put myself in his head because he had lived on top of the world for so long, and then a couple of things happened and he felt like he wasn't. And I was like, I could tell you this. It's lonely at the top. He said, what you mean? I said, you know why it's lonely? You didn't take anybody with you when you went there. So there's things to be learned about getting there. Like, if you're going to get to the top, make sure you got your friends. I got Texas with me. I got Dave-O. I got somebody to say, hey, you're goofy. Your head look weird. Or somebody that keeps you in check. And then I appreciate my ebb and flow, because it keeps me, I call my house a dysfunctional mansion. Like, there's places in my house that's not fixed. Like, there's a room that people go and say, what the fuck is on? Why is that curtain hanging down like that? Why ain't no furniture in here?
Unfinished ideas.
My daughter go like, Dad, why don't you finish this? I said, I don't want to finish it. I want to keep a little hood, if you will, or a little country boy, a little something. And so that's the part of our business, and anybody's business, is that when you rise to the top, how do you come back down? How do you decompress? How do you hit the reset button without it? It's sort of like when you scuba dive. And when you're coming up, you have to come up a certain. Yep. You got to figure out how to just come up.
Not rise too fast.
Not rise.
Get the bends.
Yeah, get the bends, man. So.
Yeah, I think one thing that I find is helpful is when you're not completely focused on yourself, you're worried about what effect you're going to have on others in the world. You just take that look about me. Am I going to be successful? What's this money going to look like? And just look about what you're doing for the world. Like, the people you're making laugh, the people you're helping out. When I make a post saying, man, I had a rough day today, but we all have rough days, we'll make it by, and people are like, man, thanks for that.
Yeah, man.
That's the shit that really keeps you going.
You got to. And like, I'm not for sure what you have, but my two kids, my family, like my daughter jerks me all the way out of Jamie Foxx. Like, my oldest daughter, like, I was wearing, like, I try to stay young, you know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't be in the club, like, especially when my daughter's on her way to that club. My daughter's 23. And I remember the other day I was going to One Oak. I'm getting ready to walk in, and these two girls pull up. Oh my God, Jamie Foxx! I'm like, yeah, what's up? We know your daughter. I'm like, oh shit, are you going in the club? No, I'm not. I'm headed to. There's an open house up here. It's a night opening. I was gonna go
art show.
You know what I'm saying? And then my daughter calls me, Dad, are you at the club? No, baby, I'm in the club. Jamie Foxx in the. No, let me call you right. So my daughter keeps me in check, and that's something that you're blessed and happy to have, that no matter what happens. Before I walked up to get the Oscar, before they called out my name, she says, even if they don't call out your name, Dad, you're a good actor. Just know that. She's 10 years old. So she always keeps me in check, especially with the young shit. Like, I had on some kind of shoes that she thought was too young. Like, that, what do you have on your feet? I said, babe, this is the stylist. She said, this is, a splash of, it has some kind of splash of red and a belt buckle and a zipper, or some Zapetris or something. I don't know what the fuck it was. She says, Dad, take that off. You have old feet. I said, what do you mean? Your feet are old, Dad. Like, your feet are designed like back in the day. I said, what does that mean? She says, Dad, we've evolved a little since your feet. She said, you got civil rights feet. I said, what does that mean? Like, you got feet for marching. Like, you should march. Get you a nice, comfortable shoe and start a revolution. So having those regular things, and like I said, Dave-O with me taking us to Montana fishing. Places where nobody,
nature,
but just cool. Just if you can find,
because nature doesn't give a fuck if you're Jamie Foxx.
They don't give a shit.
No, the bears don't care. The eagles don't care. The salmon doesn't care.
Get your ass fucked up out there.
Yeah. But so I know you're here launching a sunglasses company, and I feel like that's almost like a shaman may need a crystal, like a celebrity needs fucking sunglasses. It's almost like an essential part of the kit. It's for like energy protection. It's not even so much about the sunlight. It's just about like having like a moment to yourself, right?
And being cool too. I forget. I used to watch Diddy wear sunglasses everywhere. Diddy was the most amazing sunglass wearer you've ever seen. He could wear those fucking sunglasses in pitch black. We'd be in a club, this motherfucker wouldn't bump into nothing with them fucking shit. And I remember trying that shit. I'm knocking over bottle service and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? How's he do this shit?
Yeah.
Our sunglasses, however, is for the people. Let me explain. I wear these sunglasses on my Instagram, and everybody's hit me like 1,000 like comments, like, where you get the glasses? Are those the Gucci, the Louis, the Ferragamos? You know where I got the glasses from?
$300, $400, $500, $1,000 glasses they think it is. Yeah.
I got them from Chevron, the gas station. They were like $18, and people are going crazy. Yeah. So I hit Dave-O. I said, Dave-O, I got an idea. Why don't we do something fly and affordable, where we do a sunglass that looks great, that I could take to J-Lo or Kevin Hart or The Rock and give it to them. They feel like the weight, the everything is great. But we do it at a price that's affordable. So Dave-O got on the stick, called the right people, and the next thing you know, here we are designing these sunglasses that look great. And then we took the Gucci's, the Ferragamos, the Louis, along with our Privés, and would just put them on a table and ask people to price them according to what you think they are. And every time they would put the Privés up the top, like $700, $600, and they're $29.99. So it's a fantastic way to do what you said. It's thinking about the people. Like, people are looking like there's no way I can access that. But what social media did, it made us all the same size. That's what's good about social media. We're all the same size. Everybody has an account. Whether you have a 87 billion or 200, you still have a way to get out. You still have a way to touch people. You still have a way. So we're all the same size. So why not let them in? Why not let them in on what we're doing on the red carpet by having a shade that you could wear that's either J-Lo or all of these other fantastic people that you watch and feel good about it. And the quality is great, because here's what we said. You're not going to lose your jacket or your pants, but you're going to lose your shades.
Or sit on them.
I've spent $1 million in shades. I can't find one shade. I used to have these shades that I had on a box and the fucking lights and open and look at these. Have people come over to watch them. Look at
like
that,
the Pulp Fiction box?
Yeah, like that. Open them up.
Up.
Look at that. The glass is tempered from in indigenous in the forest where all this shit that the guy sold me, and I spent like $200,000 and shit. I opened that box one day. Where the fuck did I put them glasses? I took them off. I was telling them it was tempered glass. And so with that in mind, quality and affordable, fly and affordable. So it's perfect.
Where do people go to get them?
They're going Amazon. They can go right on Amazon, and it's Privé. What's the rest of it? Privé Revaux. We even give it a nice,
People are going to have a hell of a time Googling that.
Privé Revaux. But it's really cool.
I just figured out how to put the little accents on the E's, like 6 months ago.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to do that.
I was spelling rosé like rose.
Man, why you want some rose? Why you drinking rose? But yeah, it's really cool, man, and we really feel good about it. And we got a great host of people: Jeremy Piven, Ashley Benson, and Haley Steinfeld, who are wearing them. We did a commercial. The commercial looks cool. We all look fly. But like I said, at the end of the day, $29.99. You don't have to tell your girlfriend or your wife, I spent $30.
Yeah.
And your wife doesn't have to tell your husband, I spent $30. So we did the Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg show. We handed Martha Stewart the box, a big nice box. She opens it up. I said, how much you think those shades cost? And Patti LaBelle was there. She said, oh, honey, I know those are $800, Jamie. That's your new line. Oh yes, somewhere over. So she was just thought it was $1,000, and Snoop was like, "Yeah, cuz I think that's like $600, cuz at least, cuz you know." And Martha Stewart goes, "Nope. If I know Jamie Foxx, and if I know he's smart, this is an affordable shade. I'm not for sure how much, but I know it's not that." And she knew. I mean, Martha Stewart knows what it's about of being, that's how she made her empire, by being classy and affordable. So hopefully some of that will rub off.
That's awesome. And you got a new show on Fox.
Man,
Shazam. That's
coming
going
on
great.
in a few hours. What time is it? It's 2 o'clock now?
For people listening, it may not be 2 o'clock. Don't get confused.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, today it's actually going to come on. It comes on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to on Fox. Shout out to Jeff Aploff. Shout out to Mark Burnett, who put it all together. Who also did The Voice, The Survivor. Don't forget the lyrics. Shout out to my crew: Johnny Mac, Speedy, Tyron, TDP, Davo, who really, I had no idea that the game show was going to be that tough. And at one point, we thought we really made a mistake. We were shooting one day, and it took like 10 hours. We were like, oh, fuck, this is going to be bad. Because the slogan was Fox, back on Fox. I said, I could see the headline the next day when this come out, Fox on Fox flops, right? But luckily, we pulled it all together. Davo was fantastic in bringing Odell Beckham, Snoop to the party. And it's basically people identifying songs. They battle against each other. 3 teams of 2 battle against each other to see who can identify the hit songs the fastest, like name that tune. At the end of it, only one team goes up against the app Shazam. And if they can beat the app Shazam 6 times, 6 songs, they get $1 million.
That's got to be hard.
Oh, it's way hard, but it's been incredible. And what we didn't anticipate was the stories of the people. Everybody was playing for other people, like you said.
Yeah.
Somebody said, my mom's house burned down. I'm playing for that. Somebody said, I don't have medical benefits. I'm playing for a friend of mine that doesn't have medical benefits. And then one kid goes, student loans. Student loans was the biggest theme. Everybody was trying to pay off their student loans. We had like 10 people say that. So this one father and son, the first show. It was the first show, right? First show, the son's like, I just want to pay off my student loans. They end up winning like close to $250,000. The father starts crying and says, my little babies, I can now put them through college. My three little girls. They live in Billings, Montana. So that's what we didn't anticipate.
Beautiful, man.
Real people seeing us for the first time, being on camera in front of millions of people for the first time, and seeing them in their thirst in the knowledge of music and making it fun. It really sends chills. And there was this one lady, I will tell you this, people do win a lot of money, and at one point you will see somebody win that big prize. I won't say what it was, but this one lady had a story. She adopted kids from Haiti, and they were in the audience, and we started talking about adoption, and I was adopted at 7 months. And she started crying, and then I was like, hey, hey, man, because I'm a gangster. I couldn't cry, I've murdered people before, not in this country, but I've murdered people. So I couldn't cry. But I was like, hey, man, so I had to walk off. So it was one of those moments that you didn't anticipate in a fun family show, that you do get some great moments and a lot of money, a lot of fun. Odell Beckham is going to be on tonight, and so it's fun.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for what you do. You made a lot of people laugh.
Thank you.
A lot of people enjoyed what you brought to this world. So
thank you, brother.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, baby.
Cool.
Let's talk about your show.
Let's talk All-Star Weekend first.
I feel like we're in a helicopter right now.
What's going on All-Star
Black Hawk
Weekend?
Down.
Just over the ridge.
Yeah.
Charlie, we've got... No, I'm You know, it's good Texas boys right here. We all Texas, man.
That's right.
And
that's
they
right.
slay the women. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. We can
sorry. The women go crazy. The Texas boys right there, baby.
Yeah, they do a real nice job. Oh my God, that's an All-Star Weekend moment.
So All-Star Weekend, I've had this idea for a long time. A friend of mine, Speedy, brought it to me. My good friend, we started with. It's about two guys. At first, it was one guy loves Kobe Bryant, the other one loves Michael Jordan. It was years ago. But as the the terrain has changed, it's now Steph Curry and LeBron James. So it's about two guys. One loves Steph Curry, the other one loves LeBron James, and all they're trying to do is get to the All-Star Weekend. And it was interesting, this process, and I have to thank Davo, who's quietly my producer. I told everybody in Hollywood to fuck off, because this guy right here is better than all of them. And we just had this conversation about how tough it is for white male actors in Hollywood because there's so many of you.
It's white problems. You didn't know we had them, but we got them.
No, but I was being serious. I said it's so many, and it could get cluttered. And everybody was coming to me with all these choices. And I said, listen, the one thing I do know is this guy right here, in between the words action and cut, is top 3, 2, 1 at any given time at his craft. And he hovers at that at every performance. And you could talk to any Robert Downey Jr., who spoke very highly of you on the set. Those people, and you know Robert, those people do not issue out compliments at all. But when they see him coming, they know it's going to be a battle.
You know what's fascinating about what Jamie's saying? First of all, the actors love nothing more than being celebrated. So I'm going to be rewinding everything Jamie just said on an endless loop as I go to sleep. And then Jamie said this. But here's the deal. If it wasn't for Jon Favreau, Downey wouldn't have been in Iron Man. I just met with the Marvel guys, and they all confirmed that, and they had his back as well. And it takes someone like Favreau to have his back, and it took someone like Jamie to have my back, because the reality is it would have been very easy for anyone else to go, yeah, we got these names and they're all safe, and let's go with any number of these guys. And this is Jamie's project that he cares the most about. So he knew he had to get it right. But it also took a leap of faith, because the reality is with this project, it's something I've dreamt about my whole life, because Jamie's one of these crazy triple threat, beyond a triple threat. I don't even know what,
all the threats,
any threat that you could ever pose. That's what he is. He's like the mixed martial arts of artists. Literally, true. And because at any moment during this movie, you had to improvise at the speed of light and keep up with Jamie, but then also keep the drama there. So, there are guys that can do any one of these things, but no one could do all of them like Jamie. So to be able to go to work with this guy was just, every day you never knew what was going to happen.
Did you get butterflies, or were you just...
it was more, I was just excited, because it was just, you were just thrown into the belly of the beast every day. I knew I was in good hands. And Jamie's the kind of guy where, like, this is the first time that he's directed. So, but he had already shot the entire movie on his iPhone. So, like, the DPs were trying to catch up to him. And he'd be like, "Look, man, I shot this better on my iPhone."
I was about to beat a motherfucker's ass. I'm serious. But I'll say this though, he's playing himself down a little bit. He has all of the gears, the same exact DNA as I do. He's musical, he ad-libs, but he also gives you point of view. He gives you, when you watch your favorite actor, it's the point of view. Like, how does Jeremy Piven order his food? It's going to be different from anybody else, even if it's down to what kind of car he drives. So when he's on the set, I'm saying, listen, we need to mine him, because if his character doesn't work, the movie doesn't work, because he holds a relationship in the movie. With Jessica Johr, who's, this is her first movie with big actors. I mean, and
she killed it.
She killed it, but when he knew that she needed something, he didn't mow her over. He brought her into it. He made it a relationship. He did this move where he's trying to talk her back into staying in a relationship with him, and he picks her up and puts her on the bed, and he says these things, and immediately, that's what people don't have. He a fly motherfucker. See, like, it's different. When you watch movies, you'll see guys that, he's pleasant and he's nice. but it's not a lot of fly motherfuckers. Him, Leo, who's a fly. You actually think that dude has that in his arsenal when it comes to women. So that gives me all of the shit that we need when we're editing. He just turned it on for every girl who may not like fucking basketball, but like the way he's treating his woman. You know what I'm saying? So within this, and the editing process of it has been amazing. Watching him, and Dave-O is the key to making this happen. When we got him, I didn't care whoever else came, because once we got him, everybody else was like, "Oh, you got Piven?"
And yet he got Robert Downey Jr., he got Benicio del Toro, he got Jerry Butler, he got all these people to come and do. Those guys don't do cameos. They don't. And Jerry played the villain, you know, and he's doing leads. So he got all these guys to step up. And then one day, he and I are playing a 2-on-2 basketball game. We have to do it to get our tickets to live the dream. And now we're posting up against The Game. And who's 6'5", 240 for real? That's not like a fake thing. That's like, you know, in his bare feet, you know, with about 8% body fat. And he didn't know it was acting. Like this dude with Jamie comes over and he goes, "Oh man, it's cool. You're not afraid of black guys." And I know I'm not, but this motherfucker doesn't know we're acting. And he's like, I have some moves. I have to like fake him left and go right, and then he's got to hit me, and I got to go down. And then we realize, oh my God, it's full contact, because we didn't know the rules. Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
I know, but at one point, I had him do it, I think a couple of times too many. No. And then at one point I said, "Where's Jeremy?" And the stage. What? He's gone. But it was great.
It was unbelievable. But it's like you have to understand. Looking in The Game's eyes.
Yeah.
Either he's the best actor who's ever lived, or he wanted
there's some real shit in there.
Kill me. Like, he was bringing up some personal stuff, and I had to like talk to him in between. And Jamie is, I think that most actors are frustrated athletes, and I think I could speak for both of us that, like, if we had a choice, Jamie, you know, you would even pick maybe one Super Bowl ring over, you know what I mean?
Super Bowl ring over any of this shit.
And so
Cowboy.
And how about for you, Conor McGregor?
You know what?
He can throw.
Yeah. Not like this guy, not at all. But the thing about Jamie is, which is interesting, is he was showing me a move. He's like, "Look, take the game and push him out of the way." And he stood in front of me, and it was the exact. And I'm not just saying this because he's sitting here. It was the exact strength as Rashad Evans, who fights at 205, and that's probably about what you were when you were filming or whatever it was. I was like, wait a minute, he's not moving. He's like solid. And he was going up against Floyd. I know you guys were. It was real.
And Floyd Mayweather. So basically, our guys, we have to win tickets to get to the All-Star game, and we end up going to this bully basketball game. It's a cage. And we don't know what it is. We just think we're just there to hoop, and we're two guys who we're known in the city for blowing the big game at Butler University. So we go in, and my daughter, who escorts us down, who says, "You're going to play those guys." Well, who are those guys? And the camera shows this Floyd Mayweather in the game. So we start this game, and it's basically mixed martial arts and basketball. So we end up winning the tickets like that. But we play Floyd, and telling Floyd, I said, "Floyd, you got to hit me. I got you. I do this all the time. I know." I said, "That's the problem. I don't want you to.
Just get confused for a split second.
I'm professional. I know how to do it. I'm gonna pull the punch." When that motherfucker hit me, I was like, "Hey man, you can feel the dynamite in this fight." So when you see that on camera, it's real. We end up winning the tickets, and then just to give you the layout, we win the tickets, but we work at this towing company called Reap What You Tow. So as we're token these things, we're like, what are we going to do? We're just going to stay here in Indiana and not go to the fucking, we don't have, he's like, we don't have any money. We can't get there. I said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to drive. What are you going to do? We're going to drive. He said, even if we get there, where are we going to stay? Oh, we got a place to stay. And when you're paying back, you know those half a houses that they tow? We're actually towing half a house. So I said, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to tow this fucking half a house to L.A., park this bitch, stay in it, go to the game.
Wait, Jamie, before you tell him the whole movie, let me just tell you what Jamie would literally do. He took me into his office, and he's doing what he's doing right now, and he takes out this music, and he starts scoring himself, pitching the movie, and everyone's just sitting there like, and this is what he did with every department. It's crazy. You're just sitting there going, I see the whole thing. But there were times when it was like, it was on the page, but not fully because it's in his head. And I'm thinking, I love him, and I literally think he can do anything, and yet I'm like, I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do that on that schedule with that money.
18 days.
Sure enough, 18 days to do a huge comedy. And sure enough, we're on set with Robert Downey, and it's everything he said is happening. And I'm like, I don't get it. It's crazy.
Did you pick up some tips from Quentin? Was he one of the people
listen, man, I've sat over the shoulder of some of the greatest directors in the world, as he has, and I'm used to tyrants. I'm used to guys who really get everything out of you, you know, and everything out of the crew. And when I don't mean tyrant like in the sense of meanness, but just he knows what. So I took that same mentality because I knew we had a short amount of time. But man, I don't have to worry about if I got the camera, I just lock it off. That's the great thing about having Jeremy Piven. I lock the camera on. Some of the cameramen, I say nicely, I said, if you move this fucking camera, I'll break your fucking neck. Just let it play. And he gives you everything that you need.
See, but Jamie is pretending to come off like he was a tyrant on set, and the reality is, I have to say this, like. He wasn't. He somehow managed to not be reactive when anyone else probably would have been.
Well, the strongest person is the most gentle, right? I mean, Brendan Schaub, and that's, you know, like even a dragon. I went to my tattoo artist. He's like, I never tattoo a dragon with his mouth open. It's a fucking dragon. Who's it snarling at?
Right.
Who's that fucking dragon snarling out?
Right.
What's making the dragon go roar?
Yeah.
Nothing. You know,
but there was
gentle.
one moment when I saw the dragon.
But it's still the fucking dragon. Let's not get it twisted.
Who was that?
DJ somebody.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we spoke about it.
Yeah,
we spoke about it, and what it was, the difference was I was explaining, because DJ Khaled is in the movie, and he's so busy doing his thing, you know. But we only had a few hours of daylight to shoot this thing, so he was a little, you know, he was busy building his empire, and so But he understood once he got
he's from
there.
a different arena.
Yeah,
and Jamie's worked in every arena, but in this particular arena, we got to grind for many hours.
So when he got there, we had a great understanding.
Listen to Jamie made him under. I was like, when Jamie flips, I mean, you got to put him up against the wall and choke him for him to flip. But when he flips, it's ugly.
It's like a fighter. They all have that switch where at a certain point you just stand back.
But what was great about it, DJ Khaled showed up, man, and gave us everything. He killed. So it's really dope. Yeah. And now, you know, just to finish up, he does more than one character in it. The movie, once it gets going and everything that happens, his performance, man, anchors the film. The thing between you and the girl, the thing when you play the other characters, and we all play different characters, is just dope. So All-Star Weekend in post-production.
I will say this. Can I talk a little bit about one of the characters you play, or no? Or should not even?
No, just say this. There's going to be a hashtag, who in the fuck is Jimmy Tuckett?
Okay.
I look forward to that.
We can leave it at that. Because what Jamie does is he goes into an area which is really dangerous to do. Yeah. And if he doesn't pull it off, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. Yeah. He plays a white racist cop, and it's like, you either pull this off. He's the most racist white cop I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he stayed in character the whole time, and people are visiting, and it was like, it was very surreal, man. It was really surreal. It was crazy.
I can't wait to see this fucking movie. And you guys are working together on Sunglasses. You guys are doing a bunch of stuff together. So this partnership is just extending beyond just the screen now.
Yeah, check these out. I mean, here's the thing about
these shit, at the same time? People can't handle that.
What?
People can't handle it at the same time?
Jamie's going to be doing his Ray. Listen, the reality is they're really well-made polarized glasses. When I wear them, the people are like, wow, where'd you get those? And they're affordable, which is so crazy. I kept thinking someone had to do this before, because it's such a real and simple idea. Make high-grade glasses accessible to everyone. So that's just all we're doing.
It doesn't crush your life when you lose them or smash them.
$30.
Yeah.
$30. And they look, I mean, like if you go up on Jeremy's Instagram, when he posts, it looks like he's stepping off the biggest Hollywood movie in the world, and it's fly, and that's what we want to do. We want people want to be able to access this life we lead. That it's a different world. And I've noticed that when you are too excessive, and when you're too excessive with things other than the gold Bugatti that I drive, it's you know what?
Yeah, is that a midlife crisis mobile? What is that,
course.
Jamie?
It's Gotti and gold.
It
looks like a Magnum condom. It looks like a Magnum condom. So I'm just driving safe. I'm driving safe.
Safety first.
Safe.
But Jamie, what about Do you want to tell the story how this all started? You grabbed the pair?
I told them.
Oh, you told them already.
We talked about it a little bit.
But the fact that you've done it makes it cool because, like I said, people knowing your persona, and it's great to have a person where you know not only his persona on the movies, but it translates in his everyday life.
Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt you, buddy, really quickly. I did this little test where I put some Tom Fords on, and I put all the glasses that I love that I look good on, and they're $300 to $500 sunglasses, and I threw those on, and this particular pair just like beat everything out, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So the proof is in how they look and how they make you feel. I've got a big bucket head. I'm a Jewish Eastern European bucket head motherfucker. So, I need big wide glasses. Otherwise it's not going to go well for me. So I found a pair.
So we made it for the Jews.
Yeah, for the Jews.
And in this world where people are aware like how much things should cost, this idea that you're going to pay $500, $600, $700 for something that costs $12, that's starting to collapse. And I think companies like this are coming out, whether it's mattresses or sunglasses or something else, disrupting the market and saying, hey, you can get the same shit. It's going to protect your eyes. You're going to look cool. And you don't have to spend a fortune on it. And just kind of, take down those old systems.
Yeah, because no one really wants to throw away that much money. They just become creatures of habit. So once you switch up their reference for it,
didn't you still wince when you buy like some Louis? You go like, how much was it? $1,800. Cool. They take your credit card like $1,800.
And the crazy thing is, they all cost the same to make.
Yeah.
So the only difference between us and them is that we don't do this crazy markup.
Yeah,
that's it.
And we took the time to make sure that people like Jeremy Piven or whoever else, or Robert Downey Jr., whoever, when they pick it up, they don't feel like it's, this is flimsy, or they didn't. We put the time into it to make it really dope. So
yeah,
beautiful. Well, glad to see you guys working together in multiple ways.
Yes, we're gonna have to come back and circle around after the movie comes out and do a little bit of a recap.
Hell yeah,
a little Q&A with
Texas, baby, San Antonio, Austin, Graham, Texas, baby. Terrell, Texas, baby.
Getting shout outs. All the hometown.